Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're all doing well as I always do. This is the preview of West Ham's 9th home game of the 22-23 Premier League season, where we welcome Brentford to the London Stadium for a 7:45 kickoff this Friday night, not live on any UK TV channel. As always, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, but as you can see from the animation that's up here, there's also Admiral and Umbro claret and blue track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts, so go check those out. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, I'll be sending on to the very noble charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area and helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter, to help people put food on their tables over the last 3 to 4 years, and especially under this very, very difficult time that we're all suffering. So guys, go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt or track jackets, polo shirt, whatever you want. There's a nice few things on sale at the moment as well for the Christmas and bank holiday stuff. So you'd be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shop, and you'd be helping those the less fortunate than you and I. So as always guys, let's start off the video by talking about the officials. The referee for this game is Darren England. His assistants are James Mannering and Steve Meredith. The fourth official is David Coote. On VAR we have John Brooks, and his assistant is Simon Long. Now, as we remember, when we played Brentford last season, we lost 2-1 at home in October from goals from Mwembo and Wissa. Regardless of us stopping Brentford, I should say, from getting a clean sheet. It was you could argue it was the start of the route that's been continuing on since January, but you never know. We've never played Brentford prior to this game since 1993, so no need to talk about Moyes' record either, because it's few and far between. And to be honest with you, I'm getting a little bit bored about talking about David Moyes' histories, because it's never very good. Brentford are 10th in the table at the time of this recording, with 4 wins, 8 draws and 4 losses, scoring 25 goals and conceding 27. And they're on 20 points, 6 points more than us. Now, I'm not putting any disrespect to any Brentford fans in any shape or form, but we should be the other way round. It really, really should. Our squad is such a talented bunch, and like a lot of you, I am still fuming. I might not have appeared it during the watch along for the Arsenal game, but I was fuming for a lot of things, and I'm still really, really angry, especially what David Moyes said after the game, which I'll come on to obviously when we talk about the West Ham section. Now, of the 8 games that Brentford have played away, they've won 1, drawn 4 and lost 3, scoring 10 and conceding 18. Brentford's style of play is long balls, multiple cross attempts and through balls, and playing with width. They are very strong at aerial duels and are strong at counter-attacks, attacking set pieces and creating scoring chances, but they are weak at keeping possession, at stopping opponents from creating scoring chances, and defending against attacks down the wings, and also through ball attacks, skillful players and avoiding individual errors, and they are very weak at defending against long shots. Now, from this point of view, this is a double must-win game. Guys, I try to be objective about David Moyes as much as I can, and I'm still maintaining that at the moment. I really, really am. But if we don't get anything from this and the next 2 games, including the FA Cup game against Brentford in a couple of weeks away, it's not good. It's not good. As I say, I'll come on to it more, but honestly, guys, I am just as angry as you guys are. Brentford's highest goal scorer away from home is Ivan Toney, no surprise, with 5 goals, and their highest assister is Matthias Jensen with 2 assists. Now, turning to injuries, there's not much information post the Spurs game, but it doesn't really matter. I couldn't see any injuries, so it pretty much looks like Brentford still have long-term injuries to Shandon Baptiste due to an adductor strain, which is basically a groin strain, and he's out until mid-January. Stracosta, I think you pronounce that, and Hickey are both out with ankle injuries. Ajer is out with a knee injury until the first week of Jan, as are those 2 as well. And Onyenka is being assessed for a possible hamstring strain. So players to look out for, other than the probably soon to be we banned Ivan Toney, bearing in mind, obviously he's got to come to a decision with the amount of betting problems that he's got at the moment, shall we say. It's the allegations are just climbing and climbing by the looks of it, but he has to give an answer soon. So Tony may or may not be available for this game. For the benefit of hindsight, let's say that he is. So obviously Ivan Toney is a player to look out for. Wissa, as I mentioned earlier, he's a player that has scored against us in the previous season twice, if I remember correctly. Norgard, me, Lewis Potter, Baptiste, if he's fit. It's just... Now, Thomas Frank, who's not everybody, but a lot of people's sensible replacement from David Moyes. His go-to formation away from home seems to be a 4-3-3, and very closely followed by a 3-5-2. But again, as I said with the Arsenal preview, our 3-5-2 and a slight little tweak, which I don't think David Moyes will do because he's fucking stubborn, really ridiculously stubborn. I am getting on to the verge. If you haven't already noticed, guys, I am getting on the verge of Moyes out. He's taken us as far as we can. He's hit the glass ceiling, but a variation on the 3-5-2 is or the 3-5-1 is, it's just 4-2-3-1, I should say. You know what I'm talking about. It really is going to make things a hell of a lot easier for us. But for the meantime, guys, let's now jump over to the analysis of the Brentford side for the Patreons. So turning to West Ham, we were sloppy against Arsenal on Boxing Day night, and especially in the second half. I thought in the first half we played very, very well, but we defended for our lives. But looking at the Athletics confirmation about the squad changes at half time, it was ridiculous. The tactical changes that all of a sudden Paqueta, Rice and Souček were just a flat midfield three, really fucked it up, whereas everything else was really boiling away nicely in the first half. But as I said in the watch along, guys, Arsenal were the superior side, far, far superior side. But we gave them too many chances, and I'm glad that Moyes and Rice admitted to that. But David Moyes' comments keep referring back to how great the last 2.5, 3 seasons have been. It's not good enough. He said he wasn't happy with the way things were being played in the second half. Well, in that case, why did you wait 67, 68 minutes to bring Fornals on and only make one substitution? I'm sorry, but enough's enough. It really, really is. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, guys. You know how stalwart I've been in my support of David Moyes over the last few seasons. I've criticised him when he's done things wrong, and I've praised him when he's done things right. But he really, really hasn't done anything right, especially since the start of the season. Now, there is an argument, of course, that we need to have better strikers on the pitch. For example, Antonio needs to step his game up. Scamacca needs to adjust a lot quicker than he currently is. He's looking... Guys, I genuinely think the reason why we're struggling so much is lack of motivation in the side. I really, really do. I don't know why it is happening this way with the players that we've got. I really don't get it. But for David, as I say, then also a story coming out that David Moyes has been offered a striker, and he says, no, I think Antonio and Scamacca are more than capable of getting us the goals we need. I'm sorry, but what if that is true? Now, the dubious source of information that normally publishes this is relatively accurate, so you have to take that with a pinch of salt. But at the same time, guys, what? Seriously, why? Why would a manager that's 1 point above the relegation zone going into almost halfway through the season not want to try and bring a signing in on January, either on a free or on loan? We're not going to buy anybody. I'd be very surprised if we buy a striker. But why not do that? It really, really doesn't bode good. And it kind of backs up from one point of view that the various sources are showing that there are concerns at board level about David Moyes' ability, but he is still being backed until possibly the end of the season. Maybe if things don't go the way that they should be going, we drop into the bottom 3. Crisis talks may take place. We don't know, but it's not looking good. What's the short-term plan? I really, really don't know what the hell the short-term plan is. As a lot of people have been saying on YouTube recently and other various levels of social media, there is no clear identity. We're not a defending team because we're conceding goals. We're not an attacking team because we're not scoring goals. We're not really good in midfield either. What is our identity? What is the plan? I really, really don't know. And guys, I don't want to go on too long on this, but I'm really fucking unhappy and angry with what's been coming out over the last few days, and obviously what happened on Boxing Day as well, for that matter. But I'll try and rein this in and continue on the video without this rant. In terms of injuries, there's still no real update for Cornet. Possibly the FA Cup game against Brentford in a few weeks' time, but I'll be very surprised. Zuma is still recovering from his surgery, as we know. Ugued is, as confirmed by Moyes after the Arsenal game, that he's still unfit from an illness that he picked up during the World Cup. I'm hoping he's going to be back for this game. Not necessarily the starting 11, but hopefully on the bench, because if he is on the bench, we need him out on the pitch at some point in the second half. We really, really do. Scamacca's ankle is still swollen, so it looks like he's going to be out for a week or so, it seems. But again, will be assessed before Friday's game against Brentford. So that really, guys, that really, really only leaves one striker. Well, one makeshift centre forward, shall we say, who needs to prove what he said the other week. As you guys know from the Arsenal preview, I said that that Antonio was unhappy with coming off the bench, and he wants a starting berth, which is fair enough. I totally agree. He needs to be alongside Scamacca 100%, but we haven't got that, so he has to step up and really fucking step up. Yes, okay, he played well in the first half against Arsenal, got in their back line 3 or 4 times, or 5 or 6 times, whatever it was. You know, frustrations with communications with Ben Rama, and still needs to be worked on, but still. He needs to be. He should have really been almost at double digits by now if he wants to start in berth every single game. So I can understand Moyes not starting him when Scamacca's fit, not just because he's a striker we bought in the summer. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so guys, let's now jump on to the starting 11 and go into more detail about that for the Patreons. Areola in goal, with a back three of Johnson, Kehrer and Dawson, Soufal and Emerson as the wing backs, with Paqueta and Rice in the defensive midfield positions, with Bowen and Benrahma in the attacking midfield wings, supporting Antonio up front. Okay guys, thank you very, very much for watching. That's the starting 11 that I think is the most attacking and strongest we could possibly put out. I can't think of anything else. Guys, if you think you want to see a better side, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know your starting 11. Again, Moyes is not going to do this. He's going to be a stubborn cunt and go back to what he normally does. But this is what I'm thinking we should be doing. So guys, thank you very, very much for your time. There's timestamps down at the bottom, so I hope you've enjoyed those. I know there was an Arsenal fan that was watching the preview and really enjoyed it, so we're going to continue on with that. There will be the post-match reaction. I'm not really sure we're going to do it straight after the game because it's Friday night and it's pre-New Year's Eve, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen then. But at some point on Saturday, there will be the starting 11. There will be on the full-time thoughts, as will also be the on Monday, the Leeds preview is going to be going up on Monday as well, so look out for that. So apologies, this is later than usual, but this is what happens when you get fixture congestion. So yeah, thank you very, very much for your time. Put your comments in the comment section below. If you haven't already done so, please do like, share and subscribe. And if you have subscribed, make sure your notification buttons are set to all. But in the meantime, look after yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week, even though there's not much left of it, because for those that went back to work today, it feels like a Monday. It's not. It's a Wednesday. We've only got a couple of days. So I'll see you very, very soon. All the best now. Take care.